Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week. Rose of Sharon. Now, everybody loves Rose of Sharon, Hibiscus syricus. Now, for many people, though, they are used to the older varieties. And the older varieties are very stiff, woody, and they break out of leaf late, which is typical, by the way, of hibiscus and all hibiscus. So, what you want to do is, if you're going to put this into your garden, you want not the old ones that you're used to, like Bluebird and a few others. Even the doubles, which are very vertical, make good hedging, are very stiff, late to leaf. They do get a lot of dead wood in them, and you don't know that until June when they break out in leaf, and the centers usually start to fade out as they get older. So you've got a plant that it's an older variety, and they've bred newer ones. So we're going to sort of update you. Now, when I went to school in the 70s for horticulture, Rose of Sharon only grew as far north in Ontario as Grimsby, maybe a few protected areas in Stony Creek, etc., or even in Toronto where they're really well protected. The other place was, of course, London, Ontario, because it is a similar zone to Niagara. Well, now that everything has been sort of upgraded and we're a lot warmer than we used to be, and they've done a little bit more breeding for hardiness. They haven't really tried, but it has succeeded, and so we're looking at 6 and 5 for Canadian zones. So it's pretty good, and you're going to be quite successful with the different varieties of Rose of Sharon now. Now, the newer ones, the chiffons, okay? No, not the musical group. The chiffon series of hibiscus is not as stiff. You know how stiff the branches were? No, these are a little softer. They move in the wind, so they're far more interesting in your garden. Again, they do break late. The chiffon series was bred by Dr. Roderick Woods of Cambridge, England. And what he tried to do was give you anemone-type blooms in different colors. Now, if you know what an anemone is, you'll know that it's sort of a flower with a center that is actually modified parts of the flowers, etc. So, what you're looking at is more of a flower that has extra petals in the middle. And that's the easiest way to explain it. They're smaller, they're very confused, and it gives you that depth and interest that you don't get in the straight old varieties, even in the newer varieties, which are singles. So the chiffon series is excellent. The first one I want to cover is blue chiffon. It's going to, like all of the Rose of Sharon, bloom in late summer, fall. And it really depends a lot in your area. Now, the awards that it's won is the silver medal of the Royal Boscop Horticultural Society. So it's a silver medal. Definitely a plant you want to go and, of course, get. But it is going to be 8 to 12 feet tall. And that is typical. China chiffon is a interesting one in the fact that it is the anemone style. It's white. It has the red eye in the center that streaks out a little bit. And it makes it very attractive and with the center and a good contrast. You've got your raspberry red with your white. So that's excellent. One of the most popular of the chiffon series is lavender. Now, okay, I know I'm a guy, but to me, lavender looks pink. Okay? It's not the light pink, no, it's a lavender pink, but okay, I'll concede that it's a little more lavender. The flowers, like all the chiffons, are very large. They're a little more single with the extra, so it's an anemone style. This particular lavender one won the gold medal at the Royal Boscop Horticultural Society. It also has got the award for Mail Order Gardening Association Green Thumb Award, the Royal Horticultural Society's award, the AGM, and the Dallas Arboretum approved winner. It's hardy to zone 6, 8 to 12 feet. And that is basically the Canadian zone for it, as it is for pretty well all of the chiffons. So be aware of that. If you're going up into Toronto or you need a protected area, but these ones are nice. Remember, they're a little softer, they move, and when they do get tall, they're going to move in the wind. And that's excellent. There is a pink chiffon. Now, the pink chiffon is new. It is a proven winner. Like the chiffon series, believe it or not, is a proven winners. And pink chiffon is more of your clear pink. It does have the red striations in the petals coming and radiating out from the center. It's got the double center. It's very lacy. It's a clear pink. And it's extremely popular. I think you may see that the chiffon pink will supersede the lavender chiffon. Okay? 8 to 12 feet, hardy to zone 6. You might get it in 5. White chiffon. Now, white chiffon is nice in the fact that it is pure white. And it's the bronze medal winner at the Royal Boscop Horticultural Society, the Dallas Arboretum approved winner, the RHS, that's the Royal Horticultural Society, and AGM awards. So it is of great value in the garden. So look for white as the bronze winner, the lavender as the gold winner, and the blue chiffon as the silver winner. Now that's what I call a winning series. And definitely worth it. There is a couple others that are similar, but not in the chiffon series. Still proven winners. One is Boule de Feu, which is basically ball of fire. Large purplish red carnation-like bloom. So this is like year-old doubles, but 8 to 12 feet. The Sanchoo is a rich, deep pink flowers. It's sort of like the old Japanese peonies that you're used to seeing around. And, of course, both of them are going to be 8 to 12 feet. Both of them hardy to zone 6, maybe 5. Okay? Then we go into the satin series on them. And the satin ones are probably the ones that be most mistaken for the older varieties of hibiscus. Now, the satin ones are proven winners. There's Azuri satin. Now, this one is very popular. The reason for that is that it is blue. It's got the raspberry striations out of the center and a white pistil. So, that means it's got a good contrast. Again, it's going to be 8 to 12 feet, and it's going to be hardy to zone 6, maybe 5, okay? One of the top sellers, though, is blue satin. And blue satin is just like this, but it's a little more raspberry centered than the azure. It's won a lot more awards for it, so it is very, very popular. This one was hybridized in Holland, and it is, of course, a rich, sort of a royal blue. 8 to 12 feet, hardy to zone 6, maybe 5. Blush satin is another award-winning hibiscus. Now, blush satin is, again, out of the Netherlands, and it's very, very pretty. Because it's got the white with the pink blush in it, and it is a blush, and the raspberry center is more of a rounded petal-like shape, but it is a single, and it just looks nice. I think you're going to like this particular one very much. Again, 8 to 12 feet, hardy to zone 6 plus maybe 5. Rose satin is going to give you your lighter sort of ruffled rose pink. It has got that red center that you're used to. This one came out of France, and it is an excellent one. Again, an award winner. It looks good in containers, so you might get away with this one if you sink the containers for the winter and keeping it in large containers, but I would probably plant it because it is going to be 8 to 12 feet tall. So you're going to now look at violet satin. Now, violet satin has got large single violet pink flowers, and it's got the red center. Again, it came out of France, and it is an award winner, 8 to 12 feet, and it's hardy to zone 6, maybe 5. Of the ones that very often are the most popular is going to be, believe it or not, the white chiffon. And people see it, they want it, they look at it. There are others in the chiffon series, but again, you're looking at ones that really attract the eye. Works well in a garden as a contrast to all the other colors that you've got in the garden. So take a look at those ones. There's two others, and these are more compact or dwarf, and this is where you're going to find real interest. Little Kim is a common name used in a lot of plants for different varieties. There's a lilac, okay? In this case, we're talking about Rose of Sharon. It's very unique in the fact that it's going to be 3 to 4 feet tall. I like that. Attracts butterflies. It's got the white with the raspberry red eye, and it's very showy. There's very, very large raspberry red eyes. It works well in a perennial garden because of the size of it. It works and blends in quite easily. Okay? Again, 3 to 4 feet, hardy to zone 6, maybe zone 5. And when you see this one, you're going to go, I can manage that in my garden somewhere. And then there is Sugar Tip. Sugar Tip is one of the best yet of the compact hibiscus. It's going to be very pretty. It's going to be nice in the fact that it's going to have the variegated foliage. And variegated foliage sometimes don't flower well. This one flowers extremely well. Clear pink double flowers. Late summer, like all of them. And it was bred in Missouri. So it's probably fairly hardy, though they're still saying zone 6, possible zone 5, but it is going to be a fairly large plant. So check the heights and you should be good if you want a variegated, pink flowered, late summer, early fall bloomer for your perennial garden or just for your mixed border. I'm Bruce Zimmerman. This is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.